All right, time for some monuments here for the closeout of the new year, the old year, ring in the new year. So hope everyone had a good holiday. So we got a couple of these guys, pretty simple lollipops on a skewer there, but nothing too crazy. It's not illuminated or anything, so it always makes it go good. I know Fab's already knocking these out record time, but we just want to kind of go over the idea for install. It's a little funky because we're doing the mow curbs because they're going right in grass. I know it doesn't show it there, but they're going to want to put them on a curb there for keeping the mower and the trimmer. The other thing is because of the location, we're not really going to be able to get the truck in there, so it has to be lifted by hand. And the fact that they're pretty much 6 foot tall, you don't want to be lifting a 6 foot tall sign 6 feet in the air to have a post to go all the way up. So we got this janky system here. I'll kind of go over that for install, but otherwise for Fab, these are about as straightforward as you get. So with that being said, let's get after it. So you got the main box. These are kind of like the Eisenhower ones you just did. We have a 10 inch wide main box, the GUI center, and then we have sort of the hard shell that's 8 inch wide that goes out on the outside like a C. We're going to go ahead and change these up to 3/16 because there is no quarter at the moment, but that's fine. This should be good enough. You're going to have these 1/8 inch mount plates. These are what's going to actually kind of hold the sign down. So I wanted to have some beefiness right there. Might be a little overkill, but it is what it is. We're all 063 on everything. Trying to keep it light, try to keep it quick. And then the silver brushed, which pretty much yay. I don't think we're going to do that. So that's good. So again, you have your inner GUI box here, your main box. Go ahead and get that knocked out. And then you can pretty much just Lords and rivet. You can build the outer box off of that, kind of like you did with Eisenhower. And then really, you're just going to cut these two tubes. And then what I would do for install is go ahead and put a mark at the 42 inch line right there. 42 inches marks the top to where it's the grass. So I would make a line all the way around and then make it very clear that that's where the grass is supposed to be. And then maybe if you want, you could go 6 inches up and kind of say this is the target for the concrete mow curb. So the whole idea is the curb is 6 inches tall. The way Jim had it designed was 8 inches, 2 inches in the ground, 6 inches poking up. So that's kind of the idea. But it doesn't have to be, exact. That's why I put so much extra out. So we have almost a foot to play with. But as long as it hooks on this one, and this one, that's going to keep it pretty much centered up. But the idea is that these guys can go over and lift this sign, but they only have to lift it 3 feet. Instead of having to lift the sign all the way up in the air somehow with ladders or whatever. Good Lord. So trying to put a 6 foot sign up in the air by hand and bring it back down, there's no way. So this way, really all they have to do is lift it about waist high. Two guys could grab down here on the reveal, and then maybe a third guy on a ladder can just steady it, but they should be able to get it up and over. But then the idea is because this whole thing's going to be sealed up except for the top. How do you nail it down? You could theoretically glue it down, but whatever. So what you're going to do is create the world's longest bolt. What's up, Mr. Bolt? So you're going to take a 3-inch rod. I have that come in. Plus I have it's a longer nut to give you, that'll be coming in from McMaster as well. It's a little bit longer than standard. And then what I was thinking is you probably want to make sure that you have like 3/4 of an inch up. You could theoretically try to do a plug weld where the rod is inside the nut, but you have just a quick chance before you start filling it up to make sure that you get the top of that rod. That way, if you get a cold start on it, you could theoretically bust the nut off. So just knock it off. So what you're going to do is take that up and go up, and then that way you can start a good fillet weld on the rod itself and make sure you get good connection. So I would put the rod up a little bit and then do your weld up top like that. That's why I gave you I'm bringing in the taller long nut for that, so you have more room for that. Then just clean it up and then make sure you get that to install. And then you're going to have which is now going to be 3/16, but this plate is just a giant washer. And so install is going to go ahead and just slide this onto the post, and then they're going to get on a ladder and play thread the, they'll have to hit this target, but you are, so fabrication also, you're just going to throw a usual 12-13 like we do for monument signs, and then put it down, ½ inch or so, and burn it in real good and capture that nut in there. Go ahead and do a test thread. Make sure that it doesn't get too distorted, because they're going to have only one shot to hit this rod all the way down and then, hammer it home. And then the whole idea is that this plate here will smash down on the sign, and it'll just cause a, like here, that'll be what it looks like in the hole there. And then they'll just smash it down onto this 1/8 inch plate. This 1/8 inch plate, you're just going to rivet it to the top of M. So the top of M. So before you put that in there, make sure that you make this component first. So go ahead and get M, and go ahead and rivet that 1/8 inch plate. And then that whole 1/8 inch plate will get sandwiched down by that 3/16 plate. And then, how many more times can I say plate? And then that's just going to hold the whole sign down to the concrete. And then if install wants to, they can shoot a couple self-tappers through the plate into the 1/8 inch. And then that will lock it secure just for left, right, up and down, side to side, and all that when you're bending corners. So that's the whole idea. You're just going to make the world's longest bolts. They're going to be 3 foot by 12-13 or half 13. And that's it. You're just going to weld those up. But otherwise, you're just going to make the signs just like you do. Skin them up, close them up, send them out to prep. They'll get all nice and bonded up and nice and clean. And then it's nice that we don't have to do the laminate, because honestly, that laminate would be really sharp. It'd be kind of a liability having those sharp corners out there. Somebody get caught on that. So that stuff can always be razor sharp. So anyway, so that just got a lot easier too. But yeah, do your usual, build the center box, build the outer box around it, get it all set up. Make sure that post is welded up nice. And then, like I say, let's go ahead and put a line for 42 inch, and then make it clear that that's the grass. Just go ahead and write grass starts there. And then they want to make sure that you kind of get another line there that says that's where the concrete is, if you want to mark that up for them. And then I went ahead and made sure that install has this, sent that to Jonathan, but you want to make sure install has all this information as well. So, but that's it for that. So hopefully that works out for you, and way to knock it out, man. Signs while you wait. Oh yeah, don't forget, just go ahead and chop the top out. I went ahead and left the little bars in there just so you can get it bent up, but we got to chop that out, make sure it's all clean for them. So otherwise, that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up.
Check the technique. Check the technique.